Everyone, welcome to the Lotus Life podcast. I'm Kim Fisher. Welcome back. If you are a repeat listener, I'm so excited to have you here, especially for today's episode. I feel like I say that every single episode. They're all fucking great. What can I say? And if you are a first-time person here, I'm so excited to have you. And today's episode is going to be all about manifesting, which I am a manifesting coach. It's my world right now. It's my life. I love teaching people how to do it. But now there's a whole nother level and a whole nother way, a scope of looking at it called quantum manifesting. So coming up on the 23rd of this month, I have a 5-day masterclass series, which you can join me inside of Zoom experiences, 55 minutes each day, where we dive into the sacred technology of radical rituals and quantum manifesting. This is all around raising your internal energy to a peak pranic state, getting really clear and also high energy at the same time, and moving very quickly while gaining stability actually in your body. Because what it turns out is that most people, when they start to experience speed in their manifesting, whether that's from them directly or maybe like universe is just coming at you very quickly, we can get rattled, and that's because we got some wires crossed. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about elucidate the wire crossing, what's actually happening versus what you think is happening, and why moving quickly through manifesting is actually the best way to go. Then I'll talk a little bit more at the end again and bring you in, invite you into this 5-day amazing experience and give you some details on how to sign up. So that sounds awesome. Stick around. Even if you don't come or join the 5-day manifesting series called Quantum Manifesting, you're still going to get tremendous value out of this episode. So stick around. Okay, so first thing, quantum. What the hell is that? It's a great question. Quantum is, when you Google it, you're going to get two different things. You're going to get quantum as in the metaphysics or the metaphysical world, or you're going to get quantum mechanics, which is like the realm of physics. So quantum is a little bit of both the context that I'm talking about and this concept that I'm bringing forward in quantum manifesting. Quantum itself, though, is the smallest in terms of in the world of physics. Quantum is a measurable unit. It's the smallest measurable unit that is involved in some energetic exchange or some function. So it's the smallest measurement. It's the smallest amount of you. It's the smallest amount of anything that's being exchanged or involved in an interaction of some sort. Keep that in your mind. I'm going to give you a couple analogies later on, which is going to help ground that into your body and make more sense. Quantum is also about speed. If we are in the quantum, now this is where the metaphysical, the sort of woo and energetic side comes in. This is where we are experiencing flow and rapid change. It's that feeling of like, oh my God, I'm just now a different person. Whereas maybe yesterday you felt one way about a thing in your life or your topic, money, a relationship, yourself, whatever. But then today you just woke up and you're like resolute. You've totally changed directions in your life. You are a completely different person. You can't go back and put your finger on the moment that all changed for you, but you know you've changed. That's the physical embodied experience of quantum or being in the quantum, is that these microscopic cells, the smallest particle, the smallest amount of any matter is called the quantum or a quantum, or plural is quanta. all of this is interacting with each other and hitting each other and interacting and colliding, which creates energy. And that's what propels us into a different form, a different program, a different thinking in our mind, a different way of being, a different behavior. It's because of these rapid and seemingly inexistent experiences, because we can't look down at the level of our quanta and say, oh, look at all of these tiny little adorable cells bopping into each other and just having the time of their lives and spinning up. Oh, here comes a big amount of energy. Must be I'm about to change. We don't see all that. But all we get to see and feel is the impact of it happening. So you'll suddenly wake up literally or physically and go, wow, I'm just all of a sudden identifying as that new person. That just happened for me. So that is the more metaphysical and energetic woo side of quantum. But still, please hold on to the physics of quantum, which is the smallest measurable unit of matter that is involved in some interaction. So you've got a little bit of the top-down processing in there for you and a little bit of the bottom-up energetics. Both get to go where we're heading in that 5-day masterclass series together. Here are some myths I want to bust for you right now. The first myth is that you need to go slow and be precise and follow a plan in order to manifest. That's just not true. I have manifested plenty in my life, most recently in the last 6 months, that involved nothing but a leap of faith. There was no plan. There was no document in front of me saying, if you do X, you will get Y, so go for it. It was all in faith. It was all in energy. And it was all because I was able to anchor in and repeatedly trust the feeling inside of me, which I call my sacred yes. And that's not my phrase. I didn't coin that, but that's in this world of energy and manifesting. You'll come across that a lot if you start to expand outside of my realm. Your sacred yes. So when you learn to trust that, you're going to be automatically in the state of quantum. You're in a state of flow. You're in a state of high trust where you're able to make decisions quickly and you're able to jump before knowing. The other myth that I'd like to bust for you is that you need to be ready before you say yes. You do not need to be ready to say yes. Being ready was never a requirement, and that's borrowed from Victoria Washington. But your willingness, your openness, your ability to show up, that's required. And that's great news because you're already in that state. Readiness in some forms can hurt you anyhow. You can be getting ready for the wrong thing. You can be wasting energy getting ready for all these things that never end up happening. And that's happened to me a lot. I'm getting prepared for something that never actually happens. So we don't need to invest as much time in preparation as we think, which actually ends up slowing you down. Your readiness isn't required, and it never was. In order to manifest the life you want, we actually don't even really need to know what we want. There's myth number 3. You do not need a goal. You do not need a passion. You don't need to see it. You don't need to have a vision board of what you want before you manifest it. Why? Because manifesting is not about the things you want. The universe does not care, doesn't give a shit about the things you want. You want a white Lamborghini? Great. The universe doesn't care. What the universe cares about is how you're going to feel when you get it. Feeling is the language of the universe. That's my manifesting principle number 2. There's 3 of them. Number 2 is speak language of the universe. The universe speaks in emotion, feeling. That's the vibratory pattern of the things you want in life. So if you want something like a white Lamborghini, You got to feel and figure out what the vibratory pattern is of that white Lamborghini. In other words, how does it make you feel when you close your eyes and think about driving that? Got it? Did you just see yourself driving that car? Okay, so what was that feeling? For some of you, didn't like it or it scared you, but for some of you, went, damn, yeah. Why am I not? Why am I not manifesting that? That felt good. And so that is the feeling, or the vibrational frequency, or the vibrational currency. Another cool way to think about it, that you are going to want to be in exchange with, that you are going to want to hold in your body to bring in the reality of, or the manifest of, that thing that you want. So it's not about the actual object, it's about how you feel toward it. When you figure out the feeling you want, you can have it. So I have a saying, if you think it, you can have it eventually. If you can feel it, you can have it now. Because feelings are instantaneous. Boom. I can just decide right now to feel successful. I can decide right now to feel happy. I can decide right now to feel fulfilled. And then if I hold that and I practice that with speed, we're really going to build velocity. And we're calling the things that we want to us faster and faster and faster. Now, you do not need to have the thing. Like maybe you don't know what kind of car you want, what career you want. That's okay, because what did I just tell you? You actually don't even really need to care about the thing. You need to care about your feelings toward life. So the question really you need to be asking yourself is, how do you want to feel? It's the best version of you, best flavor of you. You guys know I go this way sometimes, like the analogy of, if we're to bake you, what's your recipe? What ingredients make up the most delicious version of you? Is it bird watching and then a hike in nature and then a massage and then time to be creative? Or is it reading a book and alone time and being by the water and going for a walk in solitude? Is it playing with your kids and then playing with the dog? And like all of these different things we do bring us joy. Joy is sweet. Joy is delicious. Joy is sticky and attractive. Like people love joyful people. The joy makes you the most delicious. What are the ingredients that make you joyous? Okay. We need to figure that out. Those are the ingredients that you need to bake yourself in. Those are the ingredients or the energetics that you need to focus on. So you don't need to know what you want. You just need to know how you want to feel. Okay. So that should be great news for so many of you who are like, I don't know what the fuck to do in my life. You don't need to know. You just need to know how you want to feel. That's going to eventually get you the stuff anyhow, okay? Let's see, is there another myth? Oh, yes. So the last myth is this, that in order to experience what you want in life, you need to first be on your knees. You need to be begging. You need to be in pain. You need to be broken, broke, divorced, shattered, in order to then rise to someone who is deserving of success. That story of rags to riches is inundated in our society. It's in all the movies. It's in all of the Disney movies where we have to fall down broken in order to rise. What if you could just rise and rise and maybe soar, but then rise? Why must there be this dip? I'm going to tell you why. Here's why I think. Because that's a story everyone's familiar with. If you tell that story of, and then I was broke, then I declared bankruptcy, or then she left, and I was alone and I was heartbroken. But then through this, and this, I climbed myself out of the hole, and look at me now, and everyone goes, yay. Well, what about the story of, actually, I just decided this is what I wanted in life and I never stopped going after it? Oh, but were you broken before? No, actually, I was really strong. I was taking care of myself and eating well and going to the gym and getting great sleep and having great sex and had a great boyfriend, and like life was really good, and I had money in the bank. I actually had a really great job, and then I left that because I just wanted more. Well, you must have been experiencing some physical pain or emotional pain. Were you re-traumatized? No, actually, I healed all that. No bypassing. Thank you. Like I went right through that. Still continue to heal it. We don't, what would the story be like? The reason we don't want to tell that story, the reason we're sort of addicted to the story of rags to riches, of broken to beauty, is because we're afraid we won't be accepted. We won't be accepted if we say we arrived already wealthy, already whole, already healthy, already intact, already healed, or really close and on our way. We don't need that story that we are rejected in order to be accepted. What the fuck? I'm going to say that again because that just shifted something in me. We don't need the story that we were rejected to be then accepted. Your rejection is not needed. Your pain is not needed. Your confusion is not needed. Stop looking for it in order to then qualify to be in the room. Stop looking for the pain body and the pain story to then feel worthy of the own success that you were destined and born to have. Just stop. So the good news is that I'm creating a container for you to be that person. Because I think we need to practice that role, right? You probably said that and several of you just went, fuck yes. But then you went, how? How is going to be given to you on the 23rd of this month in the Quantum Manifesting 5-day masterclass series for 5 days in a row, Monday through Friday. You and I and the others that join this room are going to be meeting for 55 minutes each time. And we're going to dive in to so much. Radical rituals, my 5 activating postures, breath work, activated journaling, spiritual strategy, creating not a to-do list, but a to-da list. I think I've talked about that before in a podcast, maybe 1 or 2 back. And then also some soul work to do while you're at home to get you ready for the next day. And the biggest, most important part of all of this is the community. Because the breakthroughs that you're going to experience, and you will experience them, are going to be inside of the chats we have at the very end. Because you're going to speak out loud what's happening for you. You're going to say the words about your experience, and we're going to go, yes, I hear you, I see you. And it's going to boom, send this shock, this sonic wave back through your body, and then it's integrated. Think about when you're alone and you got all these thoughts in your head about something. You can't quite decipher what's a good thought and what isn't. You can't quite figure out which thought is worthy of me continuing to pursue and which is bullshit and I should let go of. It's only when you have a great talk with a girlfriend that you hear yourself and you go, whoa, I never even thought of this before. This is just coming to me right now. But blah, 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 blah. And then the girlfriend goes, oh my God, that's huge. That's amazing. You're right. And then it's truth. It's truth. It's reset. That's quantum. You were just in one place and you magically were in another because you said it out loud and it was echoed back to you with community. That is what you're going to get inside of the 5 days together. So let me pivot back to quantum. The myths I just laid out for you. The truth now, as I see it, is you get to go fast. You get to go a bit messy. And you get to manifest without a plan, without a goal. Here's how it works. When you are actually in the state of manifesting through radical rituals, you're raising your energy, you're focused on how you want to feel, you're repeating that with a lot of intensity and a lot of energy every single day. It doesn't take long. It takes a couple days and you start to feel the shift inside of you. You're waking up with more energy. You're having more conversations with people. Your eyes are open. Your ears are open. We're training that reticular activating system in the brain. And holy shit, you're starting to realize I am in a world of complete abundance. Hooray. Then You start to get opportunities. People start knocking on your door. Your DMs start blowing up. You're getting emails. People are randomly coming up saying, hey, you look like a great person for this. And they're all aligned with what you want. Or the universe is sending people your way that are also aligned with what you don't want, because we're also trying to clear out stagnant energy and get really clear on who we are. That's another topic for another time. But when you manifest quickly, it's not always great things that you want. It's also the stuff you still need to work on. So everyone that comes into your life, you start to see as a part of your progression and your quick leaps and bounds, if you choose to see it that way. You start changing as well very quickly. So life is coming at you faster. Whoa, I have options. And you start to change. Whoa, I'm a different person today. I feel different. My voice is changing. My posture is changing. What I want for breakfast is changing. Who am I? Crisis hits. Boom. This is the moment where I'm going to catch you inside of these 5 days together. Quantum manifesting is about being in that whoa moment of holy cow, I'm changing fast and so is my external world, but I'm just freaking out because my ego, my subjective self just went, who the fuck is this? This isn't who we are. But we're also rewriting the programs, we're rewriting our algorithms of our mind, our story about who we are, the paradigms of who we are. So we just have to keep going. So when you move fast, there's going to be a moment where the mind is not on board. And we experience like these bumps in the road. So let me give you an analogy to ground this in reality. So I was just driving to go meet a friend earlier today, and there's some construction on my road, or down the road a little bit. And there's a sign up ahead that says bump. And they're paving. So I know that the road I'm on is about to get higher. I know that the grade level is changing, right? There's a bump. Now, most people go slow over the bump. And what happens when you go slow over a bump? Now, we're talking like 2 inches of tar here. So, right, the whole car kind of goes boom, up and down in the air. You get shook up and down. Your coffee spills a little bit. It's a whole thing. And people are in the car, you look around, you're like, everyone okay? Whoa. Anyone spill anything? Like there's a big shock to the whole experience in the car. Whereas if you go fast over the bump, boop, boop, you don't even feel it. It doesn't even register. Your body doesn't move, your coffee doesn't spill, no one's rattled, the car barely even felt it. That is what manifesting can be like. That's what it is like. That is manifesting in the quantum, where we actually go full throttle because there's less friction. There's less rattling. It's actually smoother to go faster. It's when we try to resist it and we put on the brakes that we suddenly feel every single bump. And in this context of manifesting, bumps are the equivalent of your mind going, not me. That's not our story. You're not wealthy. Or here comes some money. Oh, you better spend it because you're not someone who holds it. Oh, no, you're not a successful manifesting coach. Yep, so you better not take on that client. Nope, you're not a successful yoga teacher yet, so you better not go after that class you want at the studio you want to teach at. Nope, right? So all of our old pattern stories come in and put up all these bumps, and they're perceived as these shock waves to your body. Like, they feel really nasty. Whereas if we go fast, if we allow, if we embrace that the quantum speed is actually meant for us, that we are the one that gets to hold it because we exist, we get to go fast and there's less bumps. Now, where do we go with this feeling? We certainly don't stay in the head. Tony Robbins says, if you stay in the head, you're dead. So we don't want to stay in the head. We want to go into the body. Why? Because the body is safe already. The body is safe already, just as it is right now. So you were born feeling safe. Your body always feels safe. It knows what to do even when it feels threatened. There's a core of I know what to do, especially in the context of manifesting. It feels safe. The mind is the place of chaos. The mind is the place that will perceive the speed as chaos. The mind is the place that will perceive all of your success that does not match your old story as false. The mind is the place who will perceive every single story of success as a threat, because that means you got to change. But you don't, because we're resting in the body. The body is a place that feels safe already. The body knows that all of it gets to go and none of it has to change. Remember, you don't have to be on your knees, broken to rise. You don't have to be broken. We don't have to fragment. We don't have to chop part of you in half because only some of you is wanted. All of you gets to come in quantum manifesting. Whole, all of you, intact, fully integrated, standing tall, and moving fast. Another analogy for you that has to do now with the initial definition I gave you of quantum. You guys with me? I'm going to wrap it up after this. The initial definition, according to physics, is the smallest amount or unit of energy, or the unit of an actual measurable thing in the world, the smallest quantum that interacts with a system, or interacts, period. This, when I read that, I hear efficiency. What is the smallest quantum of us that can interact? Because I'm interested in that. That means if I not only can move quickly, but I can move efficiently, we're really adding some power, right? We're really adding some punch. So think about a boat. Have you ever been on a boat ride? Or have you ever water skied or tubed or anything? There's a point where you're going slow in the water and the bow or the front of the boat is just up high and it's just pushing against all that water as it moves, and it's just really taxing the engine because honestly, there's drag there. There's a lot of force in the front of that boat. Whereas if you give it more speed, you punch the throttle more, the front of the boat will drop down and you'll get on what's called on plane, where you are level with the water. And what's great about this is your velocity picks up and you can see, because the front of the boat comes down, you can see all around you. And also you're burning less fuel, because before, when the front of the boat was up, not on plane, when you're going slow, you'll actually be dragging slowly in the water, being pushed by the propellers of the engine. But that's a lot of work for the engine. So you're burning fuel. So it's important to get on a plane as soon as you can to save fuel. Now, if you were to look at the bottom of a boat, the most surface area is connecting when it's not on plane. But because most boats are V'd, the hull, the bottom of the boat is V'd, like a V shape. When you get on plane, only a small portion of the boat is actually touching the V, the bottom. There's only a small amount of the boat that actually needs to connect with the water for you then to travel far distances. And that means speed, and it means efficiency, burning less fuel. If you go slow, more of the boat, right? It sinks right in, goes in. It's just like if you took a bath bomb and you put it in your bath. What happens? That's called displacement. The bath bomb went in your bathtub and the water level went up. You got in your bathtub, water level went up. That's because more of you got into the water. If you just dip your finger in, you're not going to move the water level. But if you put your arm in, then your whole body, then your legs in, you displaced because more of you is in the water. And if you were moving or being towed, that just means slower, more drag, more energy to be pulled through the water by the thing that's pulling you. That is why we want to move. We want to move fast. Quantum says, get in, baby, buckle up, hit that throttle, let's move. Because the faster you go, the less drag you have. The faster you go, the less you're going to feel the bumps in the road. The faster you go, the more efficient you go. Then when you arrive at your destination, you are rested, you are healed, and you are looking around like, baby, what's next? What's good? I get to enjoy this now. I'm rested and awake, and I am here integrated. And that wasn't even nothing. Now I'm arriving whole and intact, and I actually feel good. I have pleasure here in the core of my body as I arrived. Whereas arriving exhausted, low on fuel, barnacles all on the bottom of your boat, and all of your food supplies eaten up because you took forever to get there. And so you get there and you go, yeah, this isn't, wow, I thought this would be so much better. Well, you feel that way because your energy has been completely drained. This is burnout, folks. We burn out. We arrive broken. We arrive less whole. We arrive fragmented and condensed, collapsed in, not expanded, but collapsed, because we refused to just get in the quantum. We resisted the natural tendency that nature wants us to flow at, which is fast and with ease and with joy and without your brokenness, and wants you to flow fast and with excitement and electricity and voltage. It wants you to flow as you are, completely in love with life and whole and unbroken. You do not need to go slow. You do not need to have a plan. Going fast doesn't mean you need to quickly and come up with plans faster to meet the opportunities. It means more opportunity, period. It doesn't mean your preparation needs to tenfold increase. It doesn't mean you need to know 5 steps ahead. It means you get to see the opportunities reveal themselves faster. And you get to trust more and make decisions faster. You know, some of the most successful people in the world, one of their characteristics, one of their traits is being able to make decisions very quickly. It's, right, there's that word again, quickly. Why? Because it's efficient. Doesn't mean they're always going to make the right decision, but they can quickly pivot because they're making decisions fast. They're staying on top of the water. They're staying plain. They're not slowing down to drag their ass in the water. They're staying up high and they're flying. You can do the same thing. You can do the same thing. You're allowed that without having gone through any collision or pain in the process. So I'd like to, once again, if you're hearing this and you're electrified by this, fantastic. Take this, thrive with it, use it, and feel confident and steady in where you are, especially if you're moving fast right now. But also I want to invite you into the 5-day quantum manifesting journey with me and the others. So 5 days together, Monday through Friday, starting on the 23rd, we meet at 6 a.m. in the morning over Zoom. I want you sleepy. I want you in that theta brainwave so that your mind does not interact and give you bumps in the road. Theta brainwave is what happens when your brain is just about to fall asleep or just about to wake up. So I'm going to capture you a little sleepy. Do not have caffeine on me. You do not need to be awake. Okay, I need you just ready. Need you open. There's the better word. I need you open. So we meet at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday, 55 minutes each day. I'm going to bring you through my radical rituals, which involve visualization, breath work, activating postures, and some somatic movement, as well as activated journaling. And then we move into your spiritual strategies, which is putting down 4 internal goals and 4 external goals, or maybe 3 and 3, or 2 and 2, or 1 and 1, does not matter. But we write those goals down and then we tie and box it to make sure that we can hit our goals at a certain time period. This list that you're making is not the to-do list, it's the to-da list. You get to do it. And your input equals your output. So the list, when you make it, is charged with the power of when you made it. So when you go back to do these items on your list, they are charged as well. They immediately charge you with energy. And when you get to get them done, you're excited to get them done. That's why they get done, because you're excited to get them done. Again, quantum everywhere you turn. Then I also give you some homework to think about, to journal on. And don't forget that most important piece is you showing up and the community all together. Breakthroughs happen when we share. breakthroughs happen when we reflect back. And you'll have Q&A time with me to talk about your pain points, to talk about your successes, and talk about what's next. Information on that can be found on Instagram. You go to my link in my bio, you'll be able to sign up or get a hold of me through any of the social media channels. I'm all over the place, or email me at info@lotuslifeyogacenter.co. It's that co, not .com. But most of you know how to get a hold of me. And all of this information you will be able to find easily. If, like I said, if you're not on social media, make sure you get a hold of me via that email address, info@lotuslifeyogacenter.co. And if you're watching the YouTube video, I'll link it here in the show notes, and sign up. I can't wait to see you inside. Thanks for listening, you guys. Mwah. Have fun manifesting.